Today we're talking about logistical issues in concierge nursing because we all want to go above and beyond and maybe take somebody home from their surgery. But logistically, how do you handle these issues? I am Catie Harris, founder of NursePreneurs, and I'm here today with Kimble Walters, the owner of Elite Concierge Nurses. Kimball, thanks so much for being here with us today. And our question for you is, how do you handle those logistical issues of picking patients up? Because, you know, as we all know, the surgery never ends when they say it's going to end, and the patient is never ready when they say the patient's going to be ready. So how do you handle this situation?
Oh, hi, Catie. Thank you for having me. That is a really great question. This could be very tricky. Okay, so there's no real perfect answer for this. In my business, what I've found is that we try to pinpoint the surgery stop time as quickly as possible and as accurately. Of course, we follow up with the nurse. You know, when they go in for surgery, they already know that we're going to be there and they have our name and our number. And so I really try to let my nurse know who I'm sending, that, you know, this time could vary. However, once they're there, once we think we have the time down and they are actually there waiting, you have to start paying them from that time. It's really not fair to have them there and waiting and say, oh, well, they're not ready for another 2 hours. Go ahead and leave. And, you can go back and you're not getting paid, by the way. But so I don't do that. I think
you lose a lot of nurses that way, I think.
You really will. But it does happen. I mean, I've had a client that told us, you know, they would be ready at 2:30 in the afternoon and they weren't ready till 6 o'clock.
Oh.
And, you know, who knew? So we didn't realize that they were going to even run over until they were already back in the OR with the client. So there was no way to stop that nurse from getting there too early, you know, and say, hey, just wait until 6 o'clock. So she got paid from the time she got there, you know, and it's just something that we all have to be prepared for. And we just communicate with the staff as much as possible ahead of time. And you just take, you take it as it comes.
Yeah, and as a business owner, you have to eat some of those costs, whether you like it or not, because it really isn't unfair to the nurse that is going out there, and then she's not going to want to work with you in the future.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And they do appreciate it if you say, you know, I know you're here, you're just sitting, I apologize, but, you know, we started your time from the time you got here. And they really appreciate that, you know, because they're thinking, oh my gosh, the client isn't ready. Am I going to be just sitting here for no reason, not getting paid? That's a thought that crossed their mind. You know, we've had many conversations about this. So, and on the flip side too, Catie, when they finish early, that can be a challenge as well. So you've told this nurse, you know, be there at 3 o'clock and they're ready at 1:30. They're somebody got bumped, or, you know, they started early. And so now they're done early. You know, nobody bothered to tell you. So communicating with the staff is a major, major part of it. Build a rapport with, you know, these people as you pick up patients from their facilities, and then they get to know you and they get to know that you're always on time, you're competent, you're gonna be there, and they will give you heads up sometimes about things that helps a lot. Otherwise, you just have to take it as it comes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something about business, is that those relationships that you develop is everything. And this is something I always stress in business, is that everything is about the relationships and the partnerships that you create. And if you don't create them, you're just setting yourself up for a lot of pain and suffering and probably financial loss as well.
Yes, totally agree. Totally agree.
All right, well, that was really helpful. And I think that's a question a lot of people have about, you know, picking patients up. That timing aspect is so hard to predict. And as a business owner, you have to try and minimize that friction as much as possible between the patient coming out too early, or, you know, at least getting a heads up, or coming out very late or much later than you were anticipating. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
When you're ready to start or scale a concierge nurse business, NursePreneurs is the world's largest and most experienced group of concierge nurses. We can set up and launch your concierge nurse business in 90 days. In addition to all the concierge nurses in our own group, you also get your own personal one-on-one concierge nurse mentor who guides you through all the obstacles and challenges that are inherent in this type of business model. If you want to get started without the headache and the overwhelm of trying to figure out all the pieces on your own, you want to be supported throughout the entire process and start generating income in the next 90 days, then go to katieharris.com/application, complete the application, and schedule your interview today.